What if the brain couldn't feel time? The illusion of the clock. Sometimes you look at the clock and you don't believe it. An hour has passed, but it felt like 5 minutes. Other times, you're waiting for a bus and every second stretches forever. We think time is objective, something that ticks outside of us, a cold metronome of the universe. But one day, neuroscientist David Eagleman said, "The brain doesn't feel time, it constructs it." So what if the brain stopped doing that? What would remain of you without yesterday, today, or tomorrow? Without movement? Without the feeling that anything is happening at all? Chapter 1. How the Brain Invents Time. We think time is a river we float through. But maybe it's not a river. It's a film reel. And the brain is the one projecting it. For your brain, the past is just neural patterns in the hippocampus. The future, a simulation built in your prefrontal cortex. And the present is a 3-second illusion. Psychologists call it the temporal integration window. The brain doesn't see reality in real time. It renders it. It stitches together moments, frame by frame, to make reality feel continuous. In truth, you don't live in the present. You live 80 milliseconds in the past, the time your brain needs to turn chaos into experience. It's not a flow. It's an edit. And the director is you. Chapter 2. The Neural Clock and the Chemistry of Time. There is no single clock in the brain, but there is a network that feels duration. The basal ganglia, the cerebellum, the prefrontal cortex, the insula. Together they play in rhythm, an orchestra of perception. And dopamine is their conductor. When dopamine surges, time speeds up. The world moves fast. Everything feels alive. When dopamine drops, time slows. Seconds stretch. Moments drag. Experiments show block dopamine, and even rats lose track of time. Humans, too. In boredom, pain, depression, time expands. In joy, love, and inspiration, it collapses. We don't just feel time. We warp it with chemistry. Chapter 3. When the Brain Loses Time. Sometimes the inner clock breaks. Patients with damage to the temporal lobes or cerebellum lose their sense of duration. They can't tell how long anything lasts. Reality stops having rhythm. One man said, "I no longer feel time passing. Things just happen." In the 1980s, Benjamin Libet found something unsettling. Your brain makes decisions before you're aware of them. Consciousness lags behind. We live in a world where actions start first, and awareness catches up later. If that mechanism shuts off, the idea of before and after disappears. And all that's left is the eternal now. Chapter 4. What it's like to be outside time. Meditation, psychedelics, coma, near-death experiences. All lead to one strange place, the disappearance of time. Buddhist monks call it the fourth jhana, a state without expectation. Psychonauts on DMT or ketamine describe a place outside sequence, where everything happens at once. The stream of time folds into a single point. Neuroscientists link it to the shutdown of the posterior cingulate cortex, the hub of the inner self. When it quiets down, the flow of time collapses. There is no past, no future, only presence. No anxiety, because anxiety lives in the future. No guilt, because guilt lives in the past. No rush, because there's nowhere to go. You could call it freedom or dissolution. Chapter 5. Why the Brain Needs Time. But if time is an illusion, Why does the brain create it? Because without time, memory collapses. You could recall images, but not their order. You wouldn't know cause from effect. Patients with hippocampal damage lose not only their past, but their future. They can't imagine tomorrow, because imagining the future uses the same brain network as remembering the past. So time isn't a property of the universe. It's an interface of consciousness, a way to organize chaos. Within it, the self is born, because you are your story. And stories don't exist without time. Chapter 6. Time, Speed, and Life. Here's a strange rule. The older you get, the faster time runs. When you're a child, everything is new. Each day, dense with discovery. But as novelty fades, perception compresses. Memory saves fewer frames. The film of life spins faster. A year at 10 feels endless. A year at 40, a blink. The less newness, the shorter life feels. Not physically, but subjectively. Maybe the point of feeling time is to rediscover wonder. To stretch time, not with boredom, but with meaning. Final, the value of time. Maybe time isn't a cage, maybe it's a gift. Without it, there would be no memory, no growth, no love. Because love lives in time. It waits, it grows, it changes. If time stopped, we'd stop suffering. But we'd also stop being human. Maybe we feel time to remember that everything ends, and that's why beginnings matter. So when it feels like time is flying, maybe it's not time speeding up. Maybe it's you, moving forward. And maybe that's the whole point.